Hello, Brenda Smith-Keene, Dancing for Him Ministries Level 2 student. Jeanine Durning is my AP. This is my June creative upload where we were assigned to do a choreography piece for 6 dancers. I chose the song Hallelujah. It's a very simple piece. It just repeats Hallelujah and then says our God is King. Hallelujah. 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 Our God is King. So that repeats for 8 sets. There are 4 counts of 8 in each set. So my dance concepts that I included in the piece are floor patterns, air patterns, spatial and relational, what means where our space or our environment and our relation to one another as dancers, symmetry and asymmetry, copy, complement, and contrast. The way I wanted to start, I tried to draw a drawing, but it didn't work out because the blackboard reflects the light of the computer and of the light. So I'm going to try to help you visualize this by discussing and talking about what would happen in each set. First of all, the dancers would be divided and would come down from upstage right and upstage left to downstage center. As they get to that point, they would take a count of 8. They would be doing a triplet, and as they get to that point, the lead dancer would turn to go to center stage, and each dancer would follow her. And as she gets to her point on the floor, she would do a pivot turn and then pose on each dancer. The second dancer would pose to the left, the first dancer would pose to the right. Dancer 3 and 4, as they pivot and turn, they would go to a lunge on either side. And dancer 5 and 6 would either go to their knees or a little lower than the person that's lunging, dancers that are lunging. As they finish that set, go into the next set, the dancers standing at the back would peel off and lead the dancers into a circle. That would be a count of 8. And then when they get into the circle, they would go over for 4 and then come out and turn out for 4. Once that is finished, they would, hopefully the circle would be that they could take 3 to the right and 3 to the left. They would do a 3-step turn out and then do arms up, right and left on the right side and left and right on the left side. So our dancers, each of the dancers are turning out the 3-step turn and then doing the arms up. As then they'll also bring that back into the same movement. That would be for the second set. For the third set, they would do a walk pose, walk 2, pose 2 for 2 counts of 8. And then we want the poses to be sharp and rounded for contrast and for symmetry. So while they're doing that, they're going to move into a 1, 2, 3 formation. In other words, 1 dancer will be in the front, 2 in the second row, and 3 in the third row. In other words, it would be a delta shape, or the Greek letter delta shape. So they will be moving into that formation. Once they're in that formation, after those 2 counts of 8, the next count of 8, they will walk up for 4 and back for 4. And then when they finish that, they would go over for 2, over for 2, front for 2, and then up. So when they go over, they're actually lunging, and then step back here, and then bring it up and reach up. So that finishes that set. While when they finish this set and they're here, the back row will hold that pose while the dancers in the second row do a 3-step turn out and then go back to that pose, and the dancer following them going out, she will turn in and hold the pose, thereby giving us 2 rows. So after they finish that, we're into the 4th set now. The worship poses, they're going to do worship poses for 16 counts, or 4 counts each, or 4 poses. And then once they, again, we want to try to see some differences in the poses as you do them, but we want to still be worshipful. And then once they finish that, the front row will switch with the back row by doing a balancé, 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 and also lifting the hands up in worship to God. That finishes our 4th set. We go to the 5th set. In the 5th set, there's percussion only and music, no music. So this is when we want our dancers to walk out to the audience. And the 3 sets of 8, they will be reaching out to the audience and reaching up to God. Reaching out to the audience and reaching up to God. And walking through the audience. During the last set of 8 of that set, they will get in place. Depending on how many owls there are, they will get in place. Because in the next set, we'll be using scarves to finish up. And if you have on a skirt or something, you want to be able to tuck the scarf inside of that. And when we get into that next set, what we'll be doing is an out, switch hands, and out, and then reach it forward, and then we're going to take it overhead for the last. So it would be the hallelujah, the hallelujah, hallelujah, our God is King. And we do those, and we move around doing those. And then for the next set, that's set 5 and set 6, we would do, that was 2 counts right, 2 counts left, 2 counts front, and 2 counts up above for that time period. And then we're going to go to the next set, and then what we'll do is a different thing here. We're going to go our scarves here for 8 counts, our scarves here for 8 counts, our scarves here for 8 counts, and our scarves here for 8 counts. The other part of that is, I started down here. The next dancer would be start up. So they would go up and down for 8 counts, and also do the reverse of the turn. The last set, you would take your scarf, and we want to walk around it. And you're doing the hallelujah. And you could do some things like maybe go in and out of each, the dancers would go in and out of each other, but the last thing you want to do is end up like this. So our God is King. That would end the song at that point. So I hope you've been able to visualize what I've presented to you, and I appreciate you taking the time to look at the video. I love all of you. God bless you. Good night.